I've been collecting dolls ever since I was around 2 years old.
Right.
I just sort of was born and bred dolls, sort of thing.
Right.
That's what I think anyway. So, for me, it's always been something that's just, I don't know, part of me, I guess. Hi everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Boys Who Want to Play with Dolls. So today I interviewed the amazing Gary. He is from Worthington in West Sussex, and he is the expert on all things oak dolls. So check out our interview. So Gary, nice to meet you. Thank you so much for coming on to this sort of new project I've got going. So thanks for joining that. So let's get on with the first question, okay?
Okay.
So, of course, very important. When did you know you wanted to collect dolls?
Right. It really all started about 2018 because I do art projects. So I sort of do quite elaborate Christmas decorations and Christmas displays. And it sort of took off from that, really. And I saw this doll on Facebook, just one of the sort of doll creators who just put a post up, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. I could possibly use that in part of my art installations. So I bought my first porcelain BGD doll, which is ball jointed doll, from an artist in Argentina who I've become really great friends with, and I've bought about 11 dolls from her in total. So this is my girl here.
Let's see.
So this is Freya.
Oh, wicked.
So,
there's something different I've not seen before. But like you said, they've been made. They're handmade, right?
Yeah. So this is a porcelain handmade doll. And most of the dolls, I think, from what I've seen, what the guys that you talk to tend to be more company dolls. These are like artist dolls. So they're a little bit different. But I just wanted a specific look for my art project. So really about 2018, and that's when I started with this first girl. She's called Freya, and that was based on a Norse mythology, and that's where I went with that one, really.
Oh, awesome. Love it. So you started collecting in 2018, Gary. So can you remember the first doll you ever had? I mean, even if you can go back, I don't know if you had dolls as a child or anything like that, but basically what I'm asking is, what was your first doll you ever had?
I think probably going back to Action Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I grew up with. I mean, I'm 58, so, I'm quite...
you don't look 58.
Oh, thank you. I grew up with Action Man, and so, that's the sort of things I played with. And again, because of my age, it's a thing that, again, guys won't play with dolls, isn't it? So, and even to this day, I bring people in and they see my displays and I get a bit about it, But they're okay, but I still get a wee bit, are they going to be okay with this type thing,
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Yeah, but so Freya's really my first porcelain doll that I got that I just showed you. But I've got a vast collection. I've got over 80, and that's and most of them tend to be artist dolls because of what I do, really. So
yeah, that's amazing. I love that. So let's talk about, Gary, I don't know if you would have one then as such. So like, did you was there a first doll brand that you did sort of collect? Like a company brand. And what did you like most though about the actual hobby, about doll collecting?
Not really a brand as such, because I say I've got a lot of artist dolls. I mean, and they're very specialised. They've been specially commissioned ones. I mean, I've got some oak ones as well. I don't know if you know what oak means.
Yes.
One of a kind. Yeah. Basically, so I've got a lot of oak sort of productions and things going on. What was the other part of the question? I forgot what you said.
So you said you like your oak dolls, which I kind of knew that was what you was going to say for that one. And what do you like best about the hobby? What do you like about the doll collecting hobby?
I love creating. I mean, I create a story. So I use each doll that I get a name. So it's already got a character. And then I create a story through that. I mean, at the moment, I've got my display. You can't see it, but it's literally written in front of me here Babylon, and it's based on the sort of, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. I've got a harem going on. I've got a king. I've got lots of queens and concubines. So that's just in front of me here. I could show you if you want to see it. But
feel free to show us, yeah, because
right,
everyone, this is a doll. This is a doll project. So, wicked! I love the background as well.
Yeah, so it's sort of giving a 3D effect, really. So again, it's all the sort of figurines that I've got here, dolls that I've got, and it actually goes up. So I've done it actually goes up quite high.
You can tell you're really passionate about your art, so it comes out within with the doll community sort of thing. So yeah, no, it looks amazing, awesome. So Gary, so this is a fun question, so you'll like this. So first things first, which doll is your favorite? And if funds were unlimited, which doll would you want, and past or present, and would you get,
Oh, that's a difficult one. I think it's quite difficult to actually pinpoint specific ones I really like because they're all special in their own unique way.
Yeah.
So again, it's really difficult. I mean, I've got a few here. Say, I've got this one by a Russian lady.
Oh wow, she's awesome.
Yeah, and then going along again, there's Freya, and I've got this one by a Greek lady who so this is a mother and baby.
Yeah.
And then I've got these ones just to the side here, which is again another couple of Russian artists who did those ones. And then beside that one, just at the very end, I don't know if you see this one here.
Yeah.
That's by a company called Worldbox. So again, it's more like some of these action figures you get, really. So,
right. How big are those custom dolls?
They range from, I don't know if you know what the sort of range, 1/6 to 1/4. So,
right. Okay. Yeah, because my smart doll, I collect smart dolls like as well, and they're huge. They're quite big dolls. They're 1/3.
1/3.
Yeah, 1/3. Yeah. So that's about 60 centimeters, which they're quite big. I mean, I've got one bigger doll, which is a My Size Barbie from the 90s, because I always wanted one, never got one. So I was determined to get one as an adult, but I suppose she's about 4 foot. But I know that they've made smart dolls. They've made them plus size, so they're like huge, like so big. I'm not even sure how big they are, but they're quite big. So it's interesting to see like oak dolls and see different sizes, because obviously they're not, like you said, a brand, so they're definitely going to be different heights and sizes, and I can tell by some of those there, so it's quite interesting.
As for a doll I would really like to get, is really difficult, because I just, that's what for me is the sculpt, and it's like what I see, what I like. So but I'm going to have to stop because I'm running out of room as well. I've got no storage space.
Will it happen?
Yeah, I've got one earmarked for later on this year. It's a male doll. He's going to be about 55 centimeters. He's one of 3 I've already got. And again, it's from a Russian girl, and that's going to be my last one, I think. I've just got to stop because I've got no room. I've got boxes in the loft. I've got stacks of boxes. So there's not it, really. So, I mean, I would say it just depends on the sculpt for me, again, what I like. But, I mean, there's so many beautiful dolls out there. That's the trouble, isn't it?
That is the trouble, and I'm with you on that. But I don't believe you that you say you're going to stop, because I always say I'm going to stop, and I'm what, 35 nearly, and I still haven't stopped. And if you're anything to go by and what you said how old you were, I've got no chance. There's always going to be new dolls, and there's always going to be something that we love new, so
yeah, definitely.
Okay, Gary, so what is your experience with family and friends with the hobby?
My husband tolerates.
Don't they all?
No, he's really supportive in what I do. I mean, I'm on Instagram, and I've got quite a few followers on Instagram and on the Facebook pages as well. And I've got a lot of support from them. Anybody new, always a wee bit, as I say, hesitant, because it's how they're going to react. And some people just don't like dolls because they think they've got eyes watching them all the time.
Yeah,
So
never get that.
they find it a bit freaky. And my best mate's like that up in Scotland. So she's a bit, oh my God, they're a bit freaky.
Yeah.
But, you know, most people are quite responsive. I have taken one of the porcelain dolls out once to take photography of it, and I was a bit nervous in case I damaged it. And a couple of people were passing by and sort of intrigued, probably a bit thinking, why has this guy got a doll? But, you know, they didn't really say nothing. There was nothing nasty said. It was just like, oh, what you doing type thing. So a bit of interest.
Interested.
Really. Yeah, definitely. So I wouldn't say there's been any negativity, I would say there, and most people, maybe they might not like it, but they don't actually say anything really. You know, everyone's different.
Everyone's different, exactly, and it's nice that people do. They do kind of, you know, they're interested when you're outside. I've had the experience as well, so you know, I kind of understand that. Okay, so I feel like we've already answered this, but you can elaborate on it. So, how do you enjoy your dolls? And I know it's for your art, so feel free to elaborate on that.
I love creating. I say all of the outfits, apart from the one I've done in Freya, I've designed. And for me to sew, I'm not a sewer. Believe me, it is my name.
I was going to say, do you want to show us some of your art, like as in the dolls and stuff like that?
I can see. I'll turn it around again. You can see some of the dolls here. So that's I've designed this one, this outfit here.
Oh yeah.
So again, just some of the outfits, and then going down. Again, you can see some of the outfits. All these outfits I've designed.
Right.
And believe me, I'm not a sewer. I've got like stubby fingers, so it's not easy. And yeah, as I say, I've got mutton fingers. So try to sew something for a 1/6 to 1/4 size. Not easy. Yeah, I mean, I use a sewing machine, but I'm not fantastic. But a lot of it's hand sewn as well. It's not easy, but it's not just that; it's creating all the props and everything as well to go with it.
Yeah.
And I get a lot through AliExpress, which is just amazing. You know, to get.
I love it.
Yeah. It's really good for that.
Like quality-wise, can be like this.
Yeah.
But generally, most of the time, touch wood, I've had good quality.
Yeah.
And prices are just so good. But I find with AliExpress, you really have to dig deep. You know, you have to like scroll through everything and really, really pay attention. You know, some people buy things they don't fit. I mean, I've done it once by mistake and it was my fault. Not checking the sizes and stuff like that. Just a pair of shoes. But luckily they weren't too expensive, so that's not too bad. But no, I'm a lover of AliExpress as well. So so you've kind of answered this question as well. So that, you know, you do take your dolls out in public and you do take pictures of them, and like you said, you don't really get negative feedback or anything. People are just intrigued and stuff like that. So the next question then would be, so was you ever, you're probably going to say no because you collected so later in life, but was you ever bullied for collecting dolls, or, you know, maybe even online or anything like that? And if so, do you remember your worst experience?
Not so much bullied outside, but I think the hobby can have quite a dark side to it. And you do, especially with the artist dolls, and it's what people can afford, and some people can't afford artist dolls. I mean, I've got a mixture. I mean, I do have some recast. I'm not going to deny it, but I have mainly artist dolls. And but some people they get shunned. They get really verbally hit upon for having something that they think is really, really nice. It's a hobby, you know. It's something. Should be fun. And we're just out there. We're just downright nasty, and I think that's the dark side of the hobby. And it needs to stop, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's you buying it. You're buying it for your pleasure. You know, I mean, who should dictate to you what you're buying? You shouldn't be dictated to what you buy. And I've talked to a few people online who have been really bullied about it, and just really nasty, really, really nasty. We've got enough to contend with in the world. All the war going on, all this nonsense going on around the world, cost of living crisis and everything like that. It's what people can afford. And if you can't afford an artist doll, you're going to go for a cheaper variety. But if that brings you pleasure, so what?
I agree.
It's crazy. I mean, I've got a Ken doll, one of the new Ken dolls. It's a black doll I'm going to use for a future installation, getting painted by a friend of mine. But some people even are down on things like the Barbies and the Kens, and you just think it's real snobbery in a way, you know?
Yes, it is. It's like, I've seen it. I've not had it online, and well, not that kind of stuff, you know. I guess because most of my dolls are like their original sort of makes, of which I don't get that thing. But I've seen it, you know, and I agree with you, and I just think, does that make you any better than that person because they've got a real one or because they got a recast? And there's one, like, there was the only one thing I could see was like they were saying, "Oh, but you're taken from the original brand." But like you said, not everyone can afford the original brand. I know there's dolls that I like, but I can't afford. You know, and yes, I have gone on to AliExpress and stuff, and I've seen lots of recasts. I'm like, oh, they're nice, you know, or I quite like them, you know, and if I want to buy them, I will, you know, and I'm not going to feel bad for doing that.
Because I always say to people, you know, these people, I'm sure they must have a house full of designer clothing, designer furniture, all one-off pieces, because the way they act, it's like that's what they've got. And I'm sure they've got that sort of copies somewhere hidden away, or like, you know,
exactly
something, you know. So to start putting people down about that is so wrong, and I don't agree with that. It's meant to be fun, it's meant to be pleasurable, and meant to bring you enjoyment. And it's got me through a lot with COVID and personal circumstances, doing what I do, and it brings me pleasure, and that's what it's all about, really.
100%. I couldn't agree with you more with that. So anyway, this might work for you. This next question might work because your dolls are so different. Okay. So I'm interested. So what is your most strangest thing in your collection? So it doesn't actually have to be like a doll as such, but what is your strangest thing in your collection? Do you have anything like that?
I've got a few of these. I've not got them out at the moment, but I have harpies, I've got a minotaur, I've got a medusa.
Awesome.
I've got an ogre. I've got
wow.
So again, it's for me, it's a character that for future installations that I've got them for. So, you know, a lot of dolls are seen as beautiful, and there are a lot of beautiful dolls, but there's also dolls out there that are just different, and that's what I like. Is the difference you get throughout this hobby, really. You know, it's just amazing.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It is nice to see different, you know, kinds of dolls, and I've had people on so far collect living dead dolls, you know, or just something a bit different to what I collect, you know. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm quite a beauty sort of freak, so all my dolls have to be stunning all the time, you know, but not everyone's the same, and I love the diversity in that. So that's fantastic. So, but I wish we could see them, but they're packed away, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. I mean, like I say, I will get them out when I do my displays, but it's just a storage space, you know, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
And it's just everything that goes with it, really. So that's fine.
Yeah. No, that's okay. No worries. So Gary, so we have pretty much come to the end of the interview, but lastly, is there anything you want to say, a message out there to other boys that love dolls and collect dolls?
I would just say enjoy it. You know, again, I think we've moved on from when I was younger, that it was sort of looked down upon. And I think, as you say, there's a diversity of dolls out there. You've got from your action dolls through to your beauty dolls, through to unique dolls. And I just say to people, enjoy it. It's a hobby, and that's what it's about. It's fun, and just enjoy it, basically.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Gary, thank you so much for coming on and doing the interview today. Really appreciate you taking part. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you. All right, take care. Bye now. Bye.
Can play with dolls too. Dun, 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 dun.